Hello, my name is Jessica Petrie, and I am a Vinyasa and restorative yoga teacher at Yoga Next Door. I also teach chair yoga classes. Sometimes I call them chair vinyasa because my background is in vinyasa yoga, or my training is in vinyasa yoga. But and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this next session. I love chair yoga. Chair yoga is a great way to take a break, especially in the middle of your workday, and it brings you deeper into some stretches because you're not working as much on balance and strengthening as you use the chair as a prop. However, there will be a little strength work involved in what we're going to do with our chairs and our bodies in this chair yoga session. So to prepare for this little yoga break, I invite you to take your shoes off just to bring yourself into your body a little more, and then settle yourself back down in your chair and come right up to the edge of your chair, sitting on the edge of the chair with your sit bones. So the top of your hip, the bottom of your glutes, and we'll come right to the edge of the chair. Feet are right under the knees, and we're lifting up through the spine here, opening through the chest, relaxing your shoulders down away from your neck, and then gently tucking the chin to create more length through the top of the spine, and lift the crown of the head up to the ceiling. You can settle your hands on your knees here and close your eyes if you haven't already done so. We're going to just focus in on our breath for a moment before we begin to move. So finding your breath through the nose for this chair yoga session. Tuning in to your natural breathing pattern, and then trying to grow your inhale and exhale, making your inhale a little bigger and your exhale a little longer. And then on your next exhale, we're going to lower right ear over to right shoulder, stretching out the left-hand side of the neck. And then bring the head back up to center, lowering left ear to left shoulder, stretching out the right-hand side of your neck. And bring your head back to center, and then lower the chin to the chest. Lifting the head back up, and then opening your eyes if you kept them closed. And we're going to bring the hands down by the seat of the chair on the sides. And we're just going to inhale the arms up, and exhale, pull your palms down to heart center. Inhale, lift, and exhale, release. Inhale, lift, and exhale, pull down. Inhale, lift up one more time, and then exhale, release the arms. Next, we're going to bring the hands to the knees and find a seated cat-cow, which is a great posture, set of postures for opening the spine. So on your inhale, you're going to rock your pelvis forward, which is going to take your tailbone back. And then we're using the knees for leverage to pull the chest forward, open through your throat, bring your gaze to the ceiling. And then exhale, rock your pelvis forward, tucking the tailbone, arching through the spine, hanging off the knees here to get a little extra stretch through the back body. And then we'll inhale, come back forward and open to cow pose. And then exhale, back to cat. Tucking the chin here, eking out all the stretch you need for the back body. Finding one more of each. And releasing back to cat on an exhale. And then we'll meet back in a neutral spine. And we're going to take the right ankle and cross it over the left knee, coming into a chair figure 4 stretch. This is one of my favorite general yoga postures, but I especially love it in a chair. So we're bringing the hand to the knee and the ankle, and we're going to inhale, find that nice long spine, tucking the chin, and then just hinge the torso forward. So we're keeping the spine and the back long and strong here. And that, for most of us, is probably just a micro movement, shifting forward and getting lots of really wonderful stretch sensation through the outside of the right hip. So leaning into and breathing in to your stretch. And then we'll lift the torso back up, bringing the palm of the right hand to the sole of the left foot, and inhaling your left arm up into a twist, following it with your gaze, breathing and stretching here. You can also take your left arm straight back behind you. You can play around with which arm position feels better to your body. And then we'll come back through center, releasing your right foot down and lifting your left ankle up onto the right knee, checking your alignment between the feet and the knees and the ankles and the hips. And then we'll inhale, lift, and exhale, hinge forward. Taking a couple of deep, expansive inhales and exhales, sending it right into this, wherever you're feeling the stretch in your body. And then we'll lift back up, bring the palm of the left hand to the sole of the left foot, and then you can take your right arm straight back behind you, or maybe up and back, getting a little more opening through the side body by going for the lifted position, more twisting if you just go straight back, and then turn the head and neck to look back at your hand wherever it is. And breathe here. And then we'll release out, grounding the left foot and standing up. Moving your chair so it's right in front of you. Stepping back about a foot from your chair, and we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, and then exhale, forward fold, planting the palms on the seat of the chair. And then letting your head and neck release, bending your elbows here, and coming into a forward fold. Maybe keeping your hands on the chair is just right for your body. Maybe you drop your hands down to the legs of the chair or down towards the floor, or find ragdoll stretch, clasping opposite elbows. Nice little bend in the knees here as you allow the hamstrings and the backs of the legs to open. Just letting the head feel heavy, pulling and opening through the whole spine. And then we're going to inhale, rise up halfway. If you already had your hands on the seat of the chair, we're going to straighten through the elbows, bringing us into a tabletop pose here using the seat of the chair. And then we're going to find another set of cat-cows. So lifting the tailbone, relaxing the belly, opening through the chest and the throat, gaze to the ceiling. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone, arch through the low back, middle back, upper back, tuck your chin. Cat, push the chair away, and then come back to a neutral spine. Step your feet back to the end of your space. So you're coming into full extension through your arms here for a chair down dog. So we're keeping the palms of the hands on the seat of the chair and stretching your sit bones straight back, getting a nice stretch for the spine here and some more opening for the backs of the legs. Finding your breath in and out through the nose. And then we'll lift the torso up halfway, and we're going to step your left foot in towards the chair. Left foot and right foot are in their own lanes. We're grounding down through both feet fully, and we're finding some length and straightness through our legs. And then we're finding length through the spine, so nice flat back. And then tuck your chin, bend your elbows, and hinge into a forward fold. This is called pyramid pose. Breathing in and out through the nose here. And then we'll lift the torso up, bringing some bend into your front knee, coming up on the balls of your back foot, lifting your heel up, and then rise to high lunge. You can find a nice little back bend here. And then we'll bring the arms all the way forward, planting the palms back on the seat of the chair, straightening through your left leg and lifting your right leg up behind you for a chair yoga warrior 3. And next we're gonna bend that right knee, engage your core, and step the sole of your right foot up onto the seat of the chair and lift the torso up. We're going to straighten the right foot out onto the seat of the chair. You may have to adjust how close you are to your chair. Then we're going to flex the right toes back towards the body and bring your hands to your thigh, your knee, your shin, your ankle, maybe to the seat of the chair, and find a forward fold here. Holding for a couple rounds of breath. And then we'll lift the torso back up, grounding the right foot on the seat of the chair. And then we're gonna shift the hips forward, bending into the front knee, finding the back of our chair, and lifting and opening through the low back, the chest, the throat, bringing the gaze up to the ceiling. And then we'll shift the hips back to neutral, releasing the hold on the back of the chair. And then we're gonna pivot the left toes to face forward. So we're lining our feet up in the same plane of motion here. We're getting some nice opening through the inside of the right leg. And then we're gonna tuck the chin, roll the shoulders, and come into a hanging forward fold here. So probably pretty quickly you'll get some really nice stretch and sensation through the inside of your right leg, keeping a nice little micro bend in your left leg so you're not locking your knee out, and then just hang out here, breathing in to the stretch where you're feeling it. And then we'll rise back up to standing, unrolling the shoulders and lifting the neck and the chin. And next, we are going to maybe heel toe that left foot a little farther away, and then we're going to extend the right leg on the seat of the chair, flexing the right toes towards the face, placing your right hand on your right leg and sliding it down to whatever degree feels good to you. And inhale your left arm up and over for a chair gate pose. This is also one of my favorite yoga poses on the mat or using a chair as a prop. It's a really nice stretch for the side body. So not collapsing in through that top shoulder, keeping it lifted and maybe bringing your gaze up to the ceiling. And then we'll rise back to standing, grounding the foot on the seat of the chair, stepping your right foot down. I'm gonna move my chair. You all probably can just switch to stepping back into a down dog stretch again. So finding all that really nice length through the spine here. Nice stretch for the back of the legs, just letting your head and neck relax. And then we'll lift up halfway. And this time we're gonna step our right foot forward, straightening through both legs, both feet grounded on the floor, lengthening through the spine, lifting and then exhaling into a forward fold in a modified pyramid stretch. Bending the elbows and gently hugging them into the midline to get some stretch and sensation through the upper back. And then we'll rise back up, bringing some bend into the right knee, coming up on the balls of the left foot. Inhale, rising to high lunge, lifting through the low back, mid back, upper back. Bring the gaze to the ceiling for a back bend. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine, bringing the hands to the seat of the chair, grounding through your right leg, straightening your right knee, lifting your left leg up behind you. You can point the toes away for a warrior 3. And then we'll bend the left leg, arch the spine, and step your left foot up onto the seat of the chair, rising up to standing. And maybe you step back a little bit like I need to. Extend your left leg out on the chair, coming up onto the left heel, toes flexed back towards the face, and then find your forward fold. Hands on the thigh, shin, ankle, maybe down to the seat of the chair. Checking in with your bottom foot. You want the toes to be pointing forward and your heel to be in line with your toes. Often the foot will sickle one way or the other to support the weight of the body based on the patterns that have developed in our bodies over time. So one thing we do in yoga is try to correct some of those patterns. And then we'll rise back up to standing, grounding the sole of the left foot on the chair, and then shifting the whole body forward, finding the back of the chair with the hands, and lifting through the low back, chest, throat, gaze to the ceiling, breathing here. And then we'll shift the whole body back, releasing the back of the chair, and pivot. So your toes are now pointing, your right toes are now pointing out to the side. And we're gonna find that forward fold with your left hip in external rotation. So we'll start by tucking the chin and rounding your shoulders forward and hanging down with the torso, being really mindful of what your edge is and not taking it too deep. Just finding a really yummy stretch and hanging out there. Keeping a nice little bend in your right leg so you're not locking the knee out. Breathing here. And then we'll unravel the spine, rolling back up to standing, releasing the shoulders, the throat, the chin, and then come back to a neutral head and extend your left leg long on the chair, coming up to on your left heel, flexing the toes back towards the torso. Then we'll slide the left hand down the left leg. Inhale your right arm up and over into chair, gate pose, bringing the gaze up to the ceiling, which also lets you know if you're collapsing in through that top shoulder. So trying to keep kind of the whole body in the same plane of motion, all the joints lined up and stacked in order. And then we'll rise back up and release the left foot down from the seat of the chair. And then we're gonna come into a seated position in front of your chair. So first, we're gonna take the legs wide and bring your hands behind you. You can be grounded on your hands here or up on your fingertips. We're gonna find a little back bend, chest opener here. So lifting through the low back, chest, throat, bringing your gaze up and over, and then release. And then we're gonna take the spine in the opposite direction, inhaling your arms high and placing them on the seat of your chair. And you may have to adjust your chair a little bit to find the right amount of forward fold for your body. So maybe you keep your hands up on the seat of the chair and you rest your forehead on the edge. Maybe you stretch through to the rungs of the chair. Maybe you can take it even deeper, just coming into a regular forward fold here, not even using your chair. Just finding what feels best to your body, keeping those feet flexed and breathing into the stretch where you're feeling it. And then we'll walk the hands back towards the torso and bring the soles of the feet together for a butterfly stretch. So again, we're going to play around with the distance between the chair and the torso or the head to find the right support for you. And we're gonna lift up through the spine and exhale, hinge forward and then let your head melt onto the chair. I'm holding my feet here. Another option would be, again, to extend the arms forward and melt in. So seeing what feels like the right setup for you to get a really nice stretch through the hips and the back body. Then wherever you are, we will lift the torso back up to long seated spine, and then we'll bring the hands behind us again and lift through the low back, opening through the chest and the shoulders, gaze to the ceiling, finding a little back bend here, taking the body in the opposite direction, and then we'll come back to a neutral spine and close this little chair yoga session in easy pose, seated cross-legged, or you could come to a kneeling posture if cross-legged is not comfortable for you. And then rest your hands on your knees, closing your eyes again and just focusing in on the breath. Finding some expansive inhales and long exhales through the nose. Taking a moment to check in with your mind and your body, noticing how this chair yoga stretch session has left you feeling. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.